She was a cultural phenomenon. A force of nature packed into a small bronzed frame. Nicole "Snooki" Polizzi burst onto our screens in 2009. She was the wild, fun-loving heart of MTV's Jersey Shore. Her antics defined an era of reality television. We saw her looking for the beach. We saw her getting into fights. We saw her living a life that seemed entirely out in the open. Her public persona was built on chaos and a disarming honesty. For millions, she was an open book. But what if that book had pages torn out? What if the story we were told was only a carefully curated version of the truth, leaving the most crucial parts in the dark? Recently, a different side of Nicole has come into view. She shared her diagnosis with stage 1 cervical cancer. She revealed a private battle with grace and vulnerability. This news reminded the public that behind the larger-than-life character is a real person. We will journey back to the boardwalks of Seaside Heights. We will sift through the evidence, separating fact from televised fiction. It is a true crime story where the crime might not be what you think. It raises unsettling questions about who was really in control of her life during those chaotic years on top. The central question is simple, but profound. What really happened behind the scenes of Jersey Shore? The official records tell one story. Nicole Polizzi was arrested in 2010 for disorderly conduct. She was briefly detained in Italy in 2011. These incidents are documented. They resulted in fines. They resulted in dropped charges. But the camera tells a different story. It shows a narrative crafted for maximum drama. Now, years later, new claims have emerged that challenge the official narrative. Snooki herself has stated that producers may have influenced her infamous 2010 arrest. She suggested the police on scene were not regular officers but were hired by the production company. This single claim reframes everything. It shifts the focus from an out-of-control star to a potentially manipulated situation. Was her arrest a genuine legal event, or was it a staged piece of television? Did the system that was supposed to protect her instead exploit her for ratings? These questions demand a forensic look at the evidence. When Jersey Shore premiered in 2009, it was an immediate cultural flashpoint. She was not a polished actress. She was a veterinary tech student from Marlboro, New York, with a magnetic and unfiltered personality. Snooki was the raw, unrestrained ID of the show. Gym, tan, laundry. Producers quickly understood her value. The camera loved her. Every moment was ratings gold. This rapid ascent to fame came at a cost. Living under constant camera surveillance, the Jersey Shore house was a pressure cooker designed to generate conflict and spectacle. But they were also happening within a framework created and manipulated by an unseen production team, a team whose job was to turn her life into entertainment. The incident that cemented Snooki's place in the Pop Culture Hall of Fame occurred on July 30, 2010. Frantically asking anyone who will listen, "Where's the beach?" The spectacle escalated when police officers intervened. Cameras followed her every unsteady step. Viewers watched as she was handcuffed and placed in the back of a police car. The arrest was broadcast on MTV as a major plot point of the season. The official record states that Nicole Polizzi was arrested for disturbing the peace, disorderly conduct, and criminal annoyance of others. However, the legal resolution was far less dramatic. The more serious charges were dropped. She was sentenced to a $500 fine and community service. The following year, the Jersey Shore production moved its cast to Florence, Italy. But, the drama followed the cast across the Atlantic. On May 31, 2011, the car she was operating collided with a parked traffic police car that was reportedly escorting them. According to official reports, Snooki was briefly taken into custody for questioning. She was cited and released, and no formal charges were pressed against her. The incident was, in legal terms, a simple traffic accident. However, on television it was presented as another chapter in the saga of Snooki's chaotic life. Reality television is not a passive observer of life. It is an active participant in storytelling, and its most powerful tool is the edit. In Snooki's case, the editing consistently reinforced the persona of the hot mess. Moments of quiet reflection or responsible behavior were often left on the cutting room floor. By focusing solely on her intoxication and confusion and cutting away any context, the edit created a caricature. This selective presentation of reality had a profound impact on public perception. Viewers came to believe that the edited version of Snooki was the complete version. The investigation, mired in false leads and missing pieces, takes a sharp turn, with a single explosive claim from the person at the center of it all. In a 2023 podcast interview, she revisited the infamous "Where's the Beach?" arrest and dropped a bombshell. She claimed the police officers who handcuffed her were not regular patrolmen. Instead, she alleged they were security personnel hired by the production company. More shockingly, she stated that the producers on site told these officers to arrest her, transforming a moment of public intoxication into a staged event for television. This single statement reframes the entire narrative. It is the central twist in the case. The event that defined her public image as an out-of-control party girl was potentially manufactured for ratings. The goal was the footage, not a conviction. In the absence of official production logs, the investigation must turn to the digital breadcrumbs left behind. This is the, unseen forensic evidence of the modern age. The discrepancy between the initial official narrative and the later testimony highlights a pattern of narrative control. The, unseen evidence here is the inconsistency itself. The existence of these agreements is a clue. They show the production company's power. This power dynamic is crucial context for Snooki's claim. By connecting these digital and circumstantial dots, a clearer narrative emerges. We have a pattern of control, manipulation, and narrative shaping. The ultimate effect of this twist is the complete deconstruction of the official narrative. The story is no longer about a reality star's personal failings. The verdict, therefore, is not on Snooki's character, but on the very nature of reality television. The system itself created a scenario where a young woman's humiliation was allegedly packaged and sold as entertainment. In light of her recent health battles, this re-examination of her past takes on a new urgency. Nicole Polizzi's brave and public handling of her cervical cancer diagnosis has shown a maturity and vulnerability in moving beyond the sensationalism that defined the early chapter of her fame and acknowledging the complex, real person behind the icon. The final takeaway is a C.O.R. Darren, a lesson in the fragility of truth in the media age. The most powerful clues are often hidden, not in what is shown, but in what is deliberately left out. The power of production is immense, but the power of evidence is what ultimately endures.